What's up guys, I'm Nicholas from Plugged Into Gaming, and welcome to my Wii U Collection video. So over the past 2 years, I have amassed a collection of about 30 to 31 Wii U games. Depends on how you look at it. I'll explain it later. But yeah, I have a huge collection here, and what I'm intending to do by making this video is this video will probably end up being pretty long. However, if there are any games that you see that you don't have on here, maybe I will inspire you to get them, because a lot of these games now are pretty cheap. So if you don't have them, maybe you'll find interest in them, and maybe you'll get them, because I definitely want to do that. And maybe soon I'll make a Wii collection video, and I have about 90 Wii games. So I'm gonna try to make a video that's short and concise enough so that we won't get bored. But yeah, let's start off with the first game. Now I do have these in alphabetical order, so we will go alphabetically. Yeah, that's pretty much what it means. Alright, let's just start this. So first off, we have Assassin's Creed 3. Now this is a game made by Ubisoft, and obviously it's the third one in the main franchise, but there have been more than 3. Now I don't have Assassin's Creed 4, however, I did play all the way through this game, so I probably should get it soon. But Assassin's Creed 3 is a really great game. I really like the story in this game. And there is a lot to do in this game. There are a lot of side quests, a lot of small little things you can do, but as I said, I really did like the story, and that's what kept me going throughout this game. It did have a couple of bugs and glitches sometimes. Sometimes I got stuck on walls, and there was one time I fell through the world. But other than that, it was a really great experience, and I really liked it. It actually did a couple cool things with the gamepad too. Not great, but it still did a pretty good job. Pretty good, solid third-party port. Speaking of other solid third-party ports, we have these two games, which are some of my favorite games of all time now, which is Batman Arkham City Armored Edition on the left, and Batman Arkham Origins on the right. So first of all, let's start off with this one. Batman Arkham City Armored Edition is one of my favorite games of all time. It is a launch title for the Wii U, but it is absolutely incredible. It does some great things with the gamepad, but not only that, it has a great story, it has some awesome gameplay. All the side quests are really, really fun to do. Like, there's not one that I think is not really fun. Just does everything really well. It has an open world, so this game just encaptures you. It just does a really good job of what it does. Combat's great too. And yeah, this is a really great game. I got this game for $12, I think. I did an unboxing on my channel, so you can go check that out. And it's a really great game. And then as a follow-up game, WB Games made Batman Arkham Origins, and this game is great too. This has arguably a better story than Arkham City, but this one is a little bit, as people have said, this is a little bit of a repetitive game, and it is, but it's still a great game. And if you really like Batman Arkham City, you're gonna love Batman Arkham Origins. So those are two great games. But then, speaking of really great games, we have to obviously talk about Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 got a ton of Game of the Year award nominations, and even it won some Game of the Year awards for this year. And that's because Bayonetta 2 is one of the best games I have played. Bayonetta 2 is an action game made by Platinum Games, who made maybe a couple of other games you might know from Nintendo consoles, which we'll talk about later. So I haven't played all the way through Bayonetta 2, but I have played all the way through Bayonetta 1, which is conveniently put into this package. Now, they put Bayonetta 1 and 2 in this one package for $60, and it's absolutely perfect. The colors are vibrant, it's great, the stories are really nice, even though they're a little bit over the top, they're absolutely great. And yeah, just a great combat. Absolutely, like there's nothing really more to say about Bayonetta 2 because it's just great. Although it isn't a rated M game, and it's riding the line of very gory, very intense themes. So if you're younger, you might want to watch out on this game. Now, if you're older, you might want to try out the demo on the eShop, because that's an option too. So just test out if you really want to get that game, because it's a really great game. Now, on the other opposite end of the spectrum, we have Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And this game is another really great game that came out this year. This was actually the last Nintendo game that came out, last first-party Nintendo game that came out recently, and it's really, really good. It's based on the Captain Toad levels put into Super Mario 3D World, also for the Wii U, and the levels are really nice in this game. They have a whole variety of levels. The story is, so-so, but that's really most of the Mario games nowadays. The level design is really well done. There are 3 gems to collect in every level, and finding each collectible it can be pretty difficult. And yeah, it's a great game. It's so adorable, and everything is just really, really well done. It's polished, and it looks great, and sounds great. So if you're looking for some quick game to play, so-so, it's kind of a pick-up-and-play game for the Wii U, this is definitely a good game to play. Honestly, if you've undermined this game, it's one of the best games on the console, especially for this year, so definitely go check it out. And it's only $40 completely new. I picked it up for $40, so that's awesome. Now, another third-party title we have is now Darksiders 2. There's not really too much to say because this game came out a while ago, but it's kind of a mix between Prince of Persia, which is more of a parkour-oriented game, and The Legend of Zelda, because it has a ton of dungeons. I really like this game for that, which are the dungeons, and the dungeons really make this game. They have more dungeons than you can even say, and they also have side mission dungeons. And it's not really a dungeon crawler, as it is more of an action-adventure game. It is rated M, but it's not as bad as some of the other games, other M-rated games on the console. But it's a really great game, and if you're looking for something that's not Legend of Zelda, but it feels like it, that this is a great game for you. Especially to keep you waiting for this next Legend of Zelda coming out for the Wii U. Speaking of M-rated third-party titles, Deus Ex Human Revolution, easily one of the best games I've played, and I know I'm going to say that a lot on this list, but really, this is one of the coolest games on the console. It actually is only able to play with the gamepad, so it takes really full advantage of it. It has maps, it has all augmentations, and you really have to experience the story, because the story is really great too. The action is really great. It's a mix between a stealth game and a first and third person action game, so there's really nothing really like it. I haven't played anything like Deus Ex Human Revolution, and this is the director's cut version, so it has it fixed certain things, certain glitches aren't even in the game, as opposed to the original version. It has this really cool black spine as compared to all the other white ones. Yeah, I think that's the only one that does that. So, yeah, it looks really cool. I think either Europe or Japan has this style for all of their games, so it's just nice to see this on for the US and the Americas. So yeah, they do a really cool job with this game. It's just really well done. So if you're looking for another action game to play, Deus Ex Human Revolution is definitely a great game to pick up. And now, this kind of went under a lot of people's radar this year, and I don't know why. It's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Now, this game is an amazing platformer made by Retro Studios, the same people who made the previous game, Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii, and also all 3 Metroid Prime games for both the GameCube and the Wii. They've done really great jobs with every franchise that they've handled, and this is no exception. I beat this game in under 3 weeks. It is an absolutely brilliant game. It has amazing music made by the guy who made the first 3 Donkey Kong Country games music, which is David Wise. So he came back and did the soundtrack for this game. The visuals are great. The gameplay is much better than the Wii one, where I didn't really like the controls and some of the levels were iffy for me. This is an absolutely perfect game. I love this game, and if you don't have this game yet and you like 2D platformers, even if you like a challenge, this is a great game. And now a party game. This is Game & Wario. I got this, I think, last year. I think it came out last year in June. And yeah, it's a pretty fun game. Some of the excitement wears off after you get it. They have single player and they have multiplayer minigames, and easily the multiplayer minigames are the best ones. There's this one called Fruit, where you have to find one person places the thief on the gamepad, and everybody just looks at the TV screen, and they have to try to figure out who the thief is. They have some really fun concepts in this game, and yeah, it's a really nice game to play with other people. Even if you're playing the single player ones, it's fun to play with other people. The only problem with this game is, as I said, some of the things get a little bit boring after a little while. However, this is not a game that you need more than the gamepad with. So if you're looking for a game that you don't need any Wii remotes and you didn't ever play the original Wii, play with the original Wii, you don't need anything else but the gamepad that comes with the Wii U. So this is a great game, like a startup game for you. And now, Hyrule Warriors. I know a lot of people have some mixed opinions about this game. There are some people who really adore this game, and then there are some people who say, you know, it's a Zelda game, but it's eh. I really like it. It can get repetitive. However, Hyrule Warriors is a great game. It mixes the Dynasty Warriors franchise, which is pretty much an insane war game where you take out thousands of enemies at a time, and it's mixed with The Legend of Zelda. So people have said it's Dynasty Warriors with a Zelda skin, and while that's true, it's still a great game, and it has a lot of depth to it. It has the main story mode, but it also has this ridiculous adventure mode, where you explore the entire original Zelda map, with challenges on every screen. So it's really a ton of content in this game, a ton of content. If you're getting this game, expect a year's worth of things that you can do, especially if you play it consistently. Like if you don't play for hours at a time, even if you do, this is an amazing game. Yes, this is a Hyrule Warriors. Speaking of Zelda, geez, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Some people don't write this off. Some people do write this off as not a Wii U game because it's just a remake of a GameCube game. But this is an amazing Wii U game, GameCube game, whatever you call it. It's a great game. If you've never played the original Wind Waker, it came out for the GameCube. And what Wind Waker HD does is obviously put it in high definition, but also it adds a couple of things and fixes a couple of things that the original did wrong, or just it wasn't as good. So I have never actually played the GameCube version, but this version of it is absolutely brilliant, and it does a lot of things right. Yeah, it just does a great job overall. It's a good package, and if you're again waiting for that new Zelda Wii U, this is probably a good place to fill that void. Now, probably the most underrated game on the entire system is LEGO City Undercover. Now, I have 100%ed this game, and that is not an easy feat. LEGO City Undercover is a massive game. I've put 75 hours into this game, and it is absolutely brilliant. It's an open world game, but it's a LEGO game as well, so if you've played a LEGO game, you kind of know what to expect. It has a fun story, some great missions, you break stuff, you build stuff, all that. And what separates it is that open world. It can explore the entirety of LEGO City and just complete objectives around. You could probably see a couple screenshots around here. And they really just do a great job. The world is pretty big. And yeah, there's just a lot to do in this game, and it's really, really, really fun. I had fun the entire way through, and if you haven't played this game, even though it might seem a little kiddish, they have some really great pieces to this game, so I would definitely pick this up. And on another LEGO game, we have LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Now, I haven't played too much of this game, unfortunately, just because I've played other things when I got this and I didn't get it when it came out. However, LEGO Marvel Superheroes, from what I've played, is a great game. It just mashes up every Marvel character you can think of into this ridiculous world of New York City. And it has this crazy story. Everything is absolutely ridiculous with these LEGO games, but it just works, and the story is fun. They have another open world, and yeah, it's really, really fun game. So if you're looking for another LEGO game, definitely pick that one up. And of course, you can't go in a Wii U Collection video without talking about Mario Kart 8. Now this came out well, not this year, but in May of 2014, and yeah, it's just I've had so much fun with this game. I've played online a lot. I've played solo a lot. I've held parties where I've played this game only. Yeah, just a lot of cool stuff. Now, Nintendo put DLC in this game too, so besides the original 32 tracks, which are some of the best in the series so far, we have more tracks, 16 more tracks coming. Oh no, wait. Is it 16? Yeah, it's 16 more tracks coming. And yeah, so if for only $12 you can get 16 more tracks and a couple new characters, including Link for some reason. No one really knows why, but you know, you can play it, as you could probably see, with almost every controller ever made for the Wii and the Wii U. So yeah, it's just a really good game. If you have a Wii U, you probably have Mario Kart 8, but if you don't, definitely pick it up. It's a great game, and it's undeniably one of the best games on the console. Now we have Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Unfortunately, I can't say too much about this game because I haven't really gotten into it. Not that it's a bad game, actually, it's a great game. However, it's kind of an odd situation. My TV can't play this game because I can't read any of the text, because it's so small, so I have to wait until I get either a better TV or just a better setup overall. But I'm really looking forward to playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate because I haven't been able to play it since it came out. However, from what I've seen and what I've looked at, this is an amazing game. And if you're into RPGs and you're into fighting huge monsters, this is a really cool game. It kind of takes the World of Warcraft elements of things, and it kind of mixes them with RPGs and crafting things. So it's all sorts of really cool elements. So Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is a very different game, and there's not really too much like it on any console, let alone the Wii U. So now you have Need for Speed Most Wanted U, which can be underrated for this console because it's a really good racing game, and we don't have too many other than Mario Kart 8, which is kind of a kart racing game, not really a true racing simulator. Need for Speed Most Wanted U is a great game. It is actually one of the best looking games on the console. It has some really nice visual effects. The cars look great, they handle great, and the races are really fun. I don't play this game often, but when I don't play it frequently. However, when I do play this game, I have a lot of fun with it. And they also have an online mode so you can play with other people, so that's amazing. And yeah, this is just a really good game overall. Also, I picked it up for about $15, so if you're looking for some really cheap game, that's definitely a good one. Now we have one that actually came out pretty recently. This is called NES Remix Pack. Now, it's called NES Remix Pack because it has NES Remix 1 and 2. Both of those games were released on the eShop, and yeah, they're great games. What they do is they take old Nintendo NES games and they put challenges to them. So you have to complete challenges in a certain amount of time, or you have to complete this really ridiculous challenge. Like, for example, they put the Link in the original Donkey Kong, and they want you to get to the top. So yeah, it's all sorts of really cool challenges. If you're interested in this kind of thing, I would definitely take a look. This is the physical version, which is usually better for some people. I know a lot of people who like the disc versions of things. So even if you've bought one or two or both, this is definitely a good package, and it's only $30. And also, I have to point out the disc, because it looks like an NES cartridge, and that is absolutely amazing. Alright, next is probably the most played game at the launch of the Wii U. This is New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U. And these are really colorful games if you can't tell. But both of these games are great 2D platformers. So we'll start off with New Super Mario Bros. U. New Super Mario Bros. U is exactly what you'd expect. A 2D Mario platformer that you can play with all your friends. It's really fun. They make a 5th player gamepad mode where someone can tap on the screen and help you make platforms and save yourself maybe. It has some really fun levels. Yeah, and as I said, it's pretty much everything you'd expect from a 2D Mario platformer. However, when we go to New Super Luigi U, which was released in August of last year, this is an interesting game. This is basically New Super Mario Bros. U, except every level is only 100 seconds and it's shorter. Also, they changed every level. It's not the same ones from New Super Mario Bros. U. It's completely different. Now, this game was actually DLC for New Super Mario Bros. U, but they released it as a physical version. Personally, I like the physical version because it comes in this really, really cool green case, which you don't see from Nintendo. Often you see it from other companies, let's put it that way. So New Super Luigi U is really nice too. And if you're looking for a challenge in New Super Mario Bros. Games, this is definitely the one to get. So both of these together are a great package. And I know for a while they were releasing New Super Luigi U with New Super Mario Bros. U. I don't know if that's still an option because I bought my Wii U at launch or close to launch. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're looking for that. I know there are definitely other bundles though, so maybe it depends on your personal preference what you'd like to get. Now, speaking of launch, Nintendo Land. This game came out with a lot of Wii U's now and back then. And Nintendo Land is an absolutely amazing game. There were a lot of people who say, okay, it's just a party game, I'll probably just throw it on my shelf and not use it. This is a really fun game, and I've put a lot of hours into this game just because it's so fun. There are a ton of different games inspired by Nintendo franchises in here, and their multiplayer games, as with Game & Wario, are pretty much the better ones. They have Mario Chase, Luigi's Ghost Mansion, and Animal Crossing Sweet Day, I think. And those are the better ones, but they have some really nice games in here, like the Legend of Zelda Battle Quest. You have to go through a linear level, and you have to try to defeat enemies. They have a Pikmin one, they have a Metroid one, which is awesome. And even the single-player ones are really fun to play every once in a while. So you have the Donkey Kong one, which is my favorite. And then you have some Captain Falcon one. You have a Balloon Trip one, but based on the Balloon Fight game on the NES. Nintendo Land is a great game with other people, and if your Wii U didn't get packaged with it, definitely get it, because it's pretty cheap now. And I think they even bundled it with a Luigi Wii Remote, so this is definitely a really cool package. And then Pikmin. There's not really much to say about Pikmin, because if you don't know what Pikmin is, it's kind of hard to explain. Pikmin is a strategy game, and you control an army of up to 100 of these little creatures called Pikmin. And each one of the different types of Pikmin has a different ability, which can help you explore the world. And yeah, in this game, you play as these three guys over here. It's Alf, Charlie, and Brittany. And yeah, you just control this army of Pikmin, and you have to explore the world. And this is an absolutely brilliant looking game. It has a pretty nice soundtrack, and the gameplay is just great. They have some extra modes in here too, like a battle mode and I forget what they call it, a bingo mode, I think, where you can play with another person and you try to fill up a bingo card. And it's really well done. This is a great package, and I know a lot of people didn't really get this game at first because they were like, I don't know if I really like it, and so people who haven't really played the original two Pikmin for either the Wii or the GameCube, they didn't really see this game, but this game is really nice, and while the story is kind of short, it's still a great game. Now we have Rayman Legends, which is an interesting game for the Wii U because it used to be a Wii U exclusive, but Ubisoft decided to port it to every other console, and they delayed it a couple times to make it on every other console. However, the final product, no matter what you think of Ubisoft and them porting it to other consoles, is that Rayman Legends is a great game, and it actually has a ton of content. The base game of Rayman Legends is great. They have some really fun levels, including some music levels, which are fantastic. And then on top of that, they remastered some Rayman Origins levels, which was released for some other consoles in the last generation of gaming. So they have some really great levels in here. Just overall great soundtrack, and they have some pretty good use of the gamepad with this Murphy character, where in some levels you play as Murphy only on the gamepad and you try to guide your character through the level. So yeah, Rayman Legends, I just 100%ed this game, and I have actually a review on my channel for it, so if you want to go check that out, you definitely should. And now we have two other games. We have Scribblenauts Unlimited and Scribblenauts Unmasked. Now let's start off with this one. This one launched with the Wii U as well. This is another launch game. And I actually found a lot of enjoyment in Scribblenauts Unlimited. It's a pretty relaxing game, actually. All you have to do is complete objectives by writing words, and that object that you write will come to life. So if you write bear, that bear will appear, and whatever the characteristics of that item, will help complete the objective. Now you can add adjectives too, so you can make it big, things big, small, whatever. So it really is a creative game, and you have to have a pretty interesting imagination and creativity. They also have this object editor where you can just change objects and make them so ridiculous. So that's a really cool feature of this game. And I really like this game. I haven't 100%ed it or even beat it yet, but it's a really fun game just to sit down and relax sometimes. And then the next one in the franchise is, of course, Scribblenauts Unmasked, where it takes DC characters, and then on top of putting random items, you can also spawn in random DC characters, items, vehicles, villains. This is a really fun game, especially if you're a DC fan. There are a ton of references. You're in a DC world, and all the characters look really, really great. So this is a really fun game as well. Both of those games are also very cheap on both consoles. I think Scribblenauts Unmasked and Unlimited were both released on the 3DS. Same versions of it, just obviously on the 3DS. So I believe you can get those pretty cheap for both consoles. And now, Sonic Lost World. Yep, here we go. Sonic Lost World. There are a lot of people who don't like this game. There are a lot of people who do like this game. So I don't exactly know what to think about it. I haven't really gotten too far into it, because I recently just got it. However, I am enjoying it a little bit. I do like the level design in this game. It looks really great. The music is pretty good too. The voice acting and the story is really not great. But again, it's a platformer, so it's not going to be on the top of everything. Sonic Lost World, I'm glad I added it to my collection. And yeah, it's a nice little game. It's a colorful game, definitely. So if you're looking for something new, I would definitely just pick it up. It's definitely something to add to your collection. And speaking of colorful, here we go, Super Mario 3D World. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with this game, and not because it's a bad game. It's actually an absolutely perfect game. Well, I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but the core game is very, very, very good. The platforming is amazing. Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad are all playable characters, along with the fifth character. And Super Mario 3D World just has some great levels. It looks great. It sounds great. Everything's good. And then on top of that, there's a lot of extra content in this game, and probably more than you'd think. My only problem with this game is that, and the fact that they spent so much time on extra content that they didn't add more to the core game, which I would have preferred. So yeah, this is a huge package, and if you think you're done with Mario, there's no way. They added this cat suit, and they added the double cherry, which make clones of your character, anybody who picks it up. So yeah, it's fun with people. This is the first 3D Mario game that you can play with other people. So this is great. This is a really great game, and it's obviously a console essential because it's a Mario game. And speaking of console essentials, here's the big one, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Now I got the deluxe pack of this game, including the GameCube adapter and the GameCube controller. So I'm all set for my Super Smash Bros. Experience, and I've had a really great time with Super Smash Bros. There are a lot of really cool modes. There are some of the best newcomers in the series. I really like Lucina, I like Shulk, I like even the Wii Fit trainer is funny, let's be honest here. So Super Smash Bros. For Wii U is an amazing game, and anybody who doesn't know what Super Smash Bros. Is, I'm not going to ride you off. I'm going to say that Super Smash Bros. Is basically a fighting game for all of Nintendo's characters, and some third-party characters, like some really anticipated characters like Mega Man or Pac-Man. They really did a great job with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Some great stages, and they're still adding stuff. They're adding new characters such as Mewtwo, and they're adding some new stages too. So this is it's a great package. And if you don't have this game, you probably don't have a Wii U. Let's be honest here. But yeah, even if I'm not gonna criticize you if you don't have the game and you have a Wii U. Definitely just go try to save up some money. Just go pick it out because it's absolutely great, and it's great with friends. It's great online. It's a great game if you haven't understood yet. And now here we go with the Wonderful 101. Now the Wonderful 101 is made by Platinum Games, who you probably recognize from earlier, who made Bayonetta 2. And the Wonderful 101 is about the same amount of action as Bayonetta 2, which is insanity. There are ridiculous amount of explosions. There are always things going on. However, this has a different sort of feel than Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 is more of a gritty game. It's comedic, but it's more of a gory game. This is a more lighthearted game. You control 100 superheroes, and each one of them has a specific power called a Unite Morph, where they can transform all 100 characters into a shape. So each one of them has a name. So Wonder Red can transform into a fist, Wonder Green can turn into a gun, Wonder Blue can turn into a sword. So they have all these different powers, and it's really, really well done. I really like this game. I actually like the story a lot. They presented this game in such a great fashion. And now this game is pretty cheap, actually, so you can pick this game up for a decent price, and it's just absolutely a great package. I beat this game pretty straightforward. Pretty much beat this game completely straight through. So this is an absolutely amazing game, and I recommend it to anybody looking for an awesome action experience. Even one that doesn't include blood and gore. And speaking of blood and gore, we have Zombie U, which is the final game on my Wii U list. And Zombie U is a really cool and pretty scary, for some people, pretty scary zombie game where you have to survive a zombie apocalypse, but the one main catch of this game is if you die, you play as a different survivor in the zombie apocalypse, and you have to go back and kill the zombified version of yourself to get all your stuff back. And I think that's a really, really cool concept. Now, there are a couple of things wrong with this game. I haven't played through the whole thing, but I've heard a couple of people complain about certain things. But I do really like the gamepad usage. I mean, everything is done with the gamepad in this game. Even though it can be used with the Pro Controller and the Wii Remote. So they just do a really great job with this game, and overall it's a pretty good package if you're looking for something new and inventive, and it's only about 15 bucks. Also, before I close this video out, I do have Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. However, I don't have the physical version. I actually just downloaded it from the eShop. Not recently, but when I downloaded it, I downloaded it from the eShop. That's a great game too. It has some great racing, and it is a Mario Kart spin-off, but it's a great game overall. And that's definitely a game to take a look at. I just didn't get the disc version, so I feel a little bad about that, so that I didn't get to really show it off as well as every other game here. So yes, this is my Wii U collection. I believe I have about 31 games here. So yeah, it's definitely a great collection. I'll read them off just in case you wanted to look up any of these games or just take a look at them. We have Assassin's Creed 3, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, Batman Arkham Origins, Bayonetta 1 and 2, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Darksiders 2, Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Game & Wario, Hyrule Warriors, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, Lego City Undercover, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Mario Kart 8, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Then we go back to the bottom of the second row. We got Need for Speed Most Wanted U, NES Remix, Luigi U and New Super Mario Bros. U, Nintendo Land, Pikmin 3, Rayman Legends, Scribblenauts Unlimited, Scribblenauts Unmasked, Sonic Lost World, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, Super Mario 3D World, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, The Wonderful 101, and Zombie U. And with that, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching this collection video. If this is pretty long, which it probably will be, thanks for sitting this long. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm Nicholas from Plugged Into Gaming, and thanks for watching.